Alrighty, what's up guys, Single Player Nacho here. The brand new Resident Evil movie is out, and welcome to Raccoon City indeed. The biggest fear, no pun intended, was how were they going to handle our beloved iconic monsters in this movie. It's a tall order, no doubt, translating grotesque creatures from GameCube games, PlayStation 1 era, polygons, to the big screen. So we're gonna be comparing and contrasting the biggest differences. And there are a bunch. And this goes without saying, there are pretty big spoilers up ahead. So without further ado, itchy tasty. Let's start off at the regular blood-soaked, bloody-mouthed zombies. How were they handled in this movie? The movie zombies were more ravenous, rage-induced creatures. These movie zombies were fucking fast, compared to their video game counterparts, which act as stalker-like, slow-moving. You can just feel their meat breath on your neck. That's what actually makes them scary. It's that tension, the slow-moving footsteps. And hell, even the first zombie encounter in the mansion is in the film, with his gigantic bald head. Video game zombies also just had this appearance of a decayed corpse on a hot summer day. They were just already wasted. Eyeballs falling out of their face, disgusting skin. It's the complete horror package. And to the credit of movie zombies, they were pretty grotesque looking, with some cool practical effects on their faces. I think they went a different direction, a more human direction if you can say that, with how the T-virus infection spreads. In the movie, the hair will start to fall out, fingernails fall off, and you'll get a random eye bleed. Gross. Compared to the video games where someone will get bitten, they'll just fall down and pass out for a bit and wake up completely corpsed up. And the zombies in the movie also had one of the cooler scenes. You had Chris Redfield Boulderstein just shooting them in the dark in the Arklay mansion. I just felt like there was a bunch more zombies in the mansion compared to the games. Good thing the stars were equipped with MP5s, or else they would have been toast. Let's move on to the zombie dogs. Now you probably have fond PlayStation 1 memories of that horrendous intro scene in Resident Evil 1, where the zombie dogs actually acted as werewolf-type monsters. They had all the stars, Wesker and his shades included, running towards that mansion. But in the movie, the stars just calmly walk right in as they stare in amazement of the Spencer mansion. And essentially, there's just little to no changes to how the zombie dogs act in the video games and in the movie. They're very, very bad boys still. One thing that did change was that the zombie dogs were one bite away from killing Chief Irons. I would have loved that, seeing that man get torn to bits. And the scene itself was a little bit spooky the way it was shot, with the light flickering. It was kind of creepy. In the video games, the bite victim was Leon Kennedy instead of Chief Irons, but that hairstyle was saved in this movie. Besides that, the "Whitey bite me" guy actually has a little pup with him in his trailer truck, which bites him, infects him, and that's how the trailer truck actually crashes into the Raccoon City Police Department. Pretty big change there. And the moment of truth, how did they handle our girl, Lisa Trevor? For starters, Lisa Trevor knows Chris and Claire Redfield. Apparently they were all being taken care of in an orphanage that was owned by William Birkin. More on him later. I thought it was pretty sweet seeing Lisa Trevor interact with the STARS members, and one of my favorite moments was when Lisa Trevor shushed Leon Kennedy, warning him about the liquor that was right above him, drooling and spitting and just being really creepy. I don't know, I felt like this movie Lisa Trevor was more empathetic and they went with a more humanistic approach to her character compared to the video games, where she's pretty much just completely delirious, swinging her shackles at you at any moment she finds necessary and knocking you the fuck out. Outside of the delirium and the craziness, video game Lisa Trevor was less aware of her surroundings. I felt like she was indifferent to the other monsters in the mansion. But the movie Lisa Trevor seems to know more information about the B.O.Ws. She's not completely brain dead. And in fact, she kills a licker. The only licker in the movie, by the way. And yes, they're in this movie. They're no different. I was genuinely surprised that they gave her that mantle. And the big boss of the movie, William Birkin. What were the changes made here? Well, for starters, he acts as this creepy scientist who actually took care of orphans and experimented on the orphans. Not that video game William Birkin wasn't creepy, I just felt like he was a little bit more devoted to the science rather than doing the dirty work. Now, all that science that movie Birkin was working on is pretty valuable, and this time, Albert Wesker betrays him, which was kind of sad. They were like buddies. In the video games, not so much this time. In the movie, Wesker was, well, Wesker and shot William Birkin. In the video games, of course, a group of unnamed soldiers went into Birkin's lab and shot the shit out of him with MP5s, machine guns. That's when he injects himself with his G-Virus, and that happens in this movie as well. It was pretty crazy because William Birkin took 3 shots to the head before his transformation happens. And that's when Birkin goes into his G1 stage transformation. He faces off with Chris Redfield and Claire Redfield, who know each other because they were raised by Birkin in his orphanage. And that's when this movie takes a big stinker. Birkin comes out with his evil man shtick. A whole lot of haha, you will never kill me type shits. Whereas in the video game, it was just subtle. You know, he was more of a Jekyll and Hyde situation. He was quiet, it was just kind of weird. Then Birkin's full-on transformation happens, and this is where the design differs a lot from the video games. It's just impossible not to mention the CGI, but I will say this, the movie design does have a bunch of eyeballs, could have been a little bit better, definitely slimy and thick. Video game Birkin was a grotesque demon from hell, a train-swallowing pit of disgrace. It was a claustrophobic scene and a fitting end to this maniac. Well, thank you so much for checking out this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as you enjoyed the movie. Well, did you? Comment down below your thoughts on the film, the direction of the B.O.Ws, and the characters. What did you guys think? Don't forget to like and subscribe for more horror, lore, lists, and mysteries. Again, guys, much appreciated to all the supports. Have an awesome rest of your day. And as always, stay single.